You guys, do not follow your parents' lead when it comes to talking about sex with your kids. Chances are, now maybe your parents were awesome, but chances are they were not good at sex education. And the thing is, if we do the same thing with our kids in this generation, our kids are in trouble. So let me tell you where I'm coming from. I do intakes all the time. I do assessments. I meet with people for the first time. And I talk to them about their sexual addiction. I talk to them about their shame and the things that they believe. And what I hear are things like, Dad sat me down once and told me, don't play with your penis. Or Mom and Dad just never talked about sex. Or we had one really awkward talk and they told me about kind of what it was, but it was so awkward I didn't want the talk to continue. And so it never did again. A talk is not enough. And as parents, we need to be much more involved and have a much different relationship with our kids when it comes to educating them about sex. And the reason is because they will get education, whether we like it or not. They will see pornography, they will view it, and they will be exposed to it. So we want to get to our kids first. And we also want to have an ongoing discussion with them so that we can continue to teach them through time and help educate them and help protect them. So just a couple things to think about. Have discussions, not a talk. So ongoing discussions. You got to create safety around it. It's got to be a topic that's comfortable to talk about. It's not a big deal to bring it up, to talk about it. So love, not shame. So apply love to it, not shame. So for example, you see your kid playing with his penis. Instead of saying, hey, knock it off, don't do that. Get curious with them and just say, hey, what are you doing? And get to know them. Does it feel good? Does it, how is it for you? And start that discussion and normalize it. Every kid is going to touch himself. And normalize it, build a relationship so you can talk about it so that you can educate. Okay? Pull your head out of the sand. And what that means is so many parents want to just hide from the topic of sex. It's too uncomfortable. And it's an important part of life. It's an important part of who we are as human beings. And so be willing to talk about it. My 5-year-old knows that Dad has a penis because I'm a boy and I'm a man. And she's understands that and it's fine with her. We can talk about that, and she knows that girls have vaginas, and so we talk openly about those things so that we can start further discussions as she gets older and older. And so it's an open dialogue. It's a safe, comfortable discussion. Be open, not closed. It's that there's a level with kids about how much they understand and how much they can take, and you want to hit that appropriate level with them. My 10-year-old the other day said, "Hey, Dad, what do you and Mom do after we all go to bed?" It's an interesting example. And I said, "Well, sometimes we watch TV, sometimes we read, sometimes we have sex, sometimes." And I just kind of rattled that off, and she looked at me like, "Oh, that's when you do that." And I was open about it. I wasn't awkward. I was comfortable about it. So that in the future, what I'm doing with her is showing her that it's something that we can bring up, we can talk about, it's part of life. But it's also appropriate to her maturity level and her age. But don't hide from the topic. Be willing to talk about it. Be willing to talk openly about it. You're naive if you think that your children won't be educated about sex in the wrong ways. They'll see explicit material, they'll see graphic things, and they need to know that when they do see those things, when they are exposed to those things, that they have a safe place to go to check it out and say, "Mom, Dad, I saw this. What do you think?" Or, "This is how I felt when I saw it." And they can talk openly with you about it. Or else they're just going to feel shame around the topic of sex, and that's the root of a sex addiction, because they're sexual. They feel excitement, they feel good things, but they'll start to hide it if they don't feel safe with you to talk openly about it. So you guys, please share down below any good ideas that you have, things that you do with your kids, or any thoughts that you have on this topic. I think it's really important. and have an awesome day and an awesome weekend. See you guys.